Algebraic number theory. Math, huh?
There's another one like that over here.
You mean something like primary number theory, or analytical number theory, or geometry?
Oh my gosh, how do you know? Nobody said anything about those.
Well, number theory is usually split into 4 chief disciplines. God damn, Snake. If there was a book named Algebraic Number Theory, I took a wild guess that the other 3 would be there as well. Looks like I was right. As usual. The Pythagorean Theorem. Really? A whole book for that? This is a famous one. Sounds like there are a number of math books in this section. The shelf is full of math books like the Pythagorean Theorem. Gold Box Conjecture.
Conjecture? What's it about? Like magic or psychic stuff or something?
I was thinking like conjuring or something.
Oh, I guess. Right, I bet it's about jewelry, isn't it?
What? It may have an odd title, but it's actually a very respectable mathematics book.
Goldback, that's why.
Oh, like instead of Goldbach. Alright. It deals with one of the unsolved problems of additive number theory.
Sorry I said anything.
You're gonna put me to sleep.
Look, let's not get into this right now, okay?
Oh my
I'm
God.
very tired. I've had a
Important
long
sounding
day.
books. Yeah, we
Back
all
hurts.
have. Yeah. I can't check this either. Alright.
Oh, there's a long section. Huh. That's a weird book, Junpei. Indian mathematics. Huh, that's funny. Oh, why is it so funny, Clover?
Well, why is that funny? Never mind about that. There's a weird book here. Yeah, alright.
Hey, this is Raymond's hypothesis. What's there to hypothesize about with a Raymond?
With a
Isn't
Riemann?
it a Riemann? Isn't it pretty straightforward?
Is that...
Heavens no. There are many factors.
Oh my God.
Length, girth, lubrication, or lack of... Hey, it's a Riemann joke! It's an exciting and rapidly growing field.
Whoa.
Yeah!
I like how Snake doesn't rain on Clover's parade. He actually, like, plays into her stupid
Yeah.
jokes.
What are these suspicious books?
D-A-D-K-I-N-D-O-N Sheldrahi Leg Bernice. This is...
So, like, Leibniz without the is, like, a famous mathematician. So,
Oh.
I don't know what that's supposed to be.
Dad kind. What the hell is this? Wasn't that a German Dadkind? Wasn't that a German mathematician? Maybe it's a compilation of his work. It's a freaking lot, dude.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
This red book says Dadkind on it. That one. Owen, huh? Owen isn't enough to go on. Perhaps it's about the English Revolutionary. Sure. It's light blue. Red.
Sheldrake? Drake?
Sheldrake? Isn't Sheldrake?
Question mark.
Didn't we hear about him during one of the pseudoscience-y discussions? I
Oh,
think?
man.
Of course, the first
Probably
ones we
the
did a
one
year
part.
ago, the first, like, episodes we recorded quite some time
Yeah,
ago.
it took us a while to play through this game. Leibniz.
This book is in German. It looks like it's a complete work of something.
I've never heard of it. Really? Well, if Snake doesn't know what it is, I don't think we'll ever know.
Oh god.
Yellow book. I like that this is the one where it doesn't tell you what the color is. Alright.
I mean, at some point it'll probably be important.
Yeah.
There's 7 books and then there's 8.
And let's check the cupboard as well.
Suspicious.
Astronomy. And the books are out of order, but obviously numbered.
This bookshelf has sort of a glass inlay.
Or a lock.
It's pretty big, but there's only 6 books on it. That seems kind of weird.
Hey, it looks like there's something on the bottom. Can't really see it though. The glass is all foggy.
Awesome. There's a lock on the glass door. Yup. Won't budge.
Kick it open, guys.
Oh, I can just... Alright. In the middle of the glass door is a cylinder lock. You know, the kind of lock where you rotate the numbers around so you got the right ones to open it?
Yes.
But what the hell is this? I've never heard of this.
Except for that one time when I explained what it is in the
I know.
narration just now.
It's like they just gave us the answer. Guess I might as well give it a shot.
What?
Yeah, really. 652... No,
6-3.
632415. Couple of books on the glass shelf. 632415.
Wow, they really spelled it out for you.
There's gotta be a trick to this, but I'll try it anyway.
Three, two, 1.
Really? There's no catch?
Yay, you did it, Junpei!
You did it.
Yay,
Yeah.
you did it!
I don't know why, but I don't feel particularly happy about being praised for that. Whatever.
Haha.
At least the lock's open now. Let's see if we can get it to open, alright?
Kaboom.
That really was, like, insultingly easy. There's gotta be a catch.
Oh, another bulb.
Yeah.
Feels like a light bulb. Pretty high wattage too, unless I missed my guess. They should generate quite a bit of light.
We need to find another light bulb.
Powerful light bulb, huh? This will be pretty bright.
One more. One más.
All 6 books seem to be pointing at the cylinder number
Wow,
lock.
they really, really keep pointing at
Yeah.
it.
Did you get it? Yeah.
I guess it's to signal that there's so much else to look at that you shouldn't be overthinking things.
Okay, I put the pop-up books on top of the stands.
Are you gonna
Can you
change?
click on the
In
light?
the middle, yeah.
You can sort of see the letters. It's too dark in here to really tell, though.
Well, that probably means our light isn't bright enough. Yeah.
Now you can kind of see it say Sheldrake.
Yeah.
It's like Sheldrake
some kind
6.
of vague letters on here. Yeah, but the game probably won't let us actually do it.
Yeah.
Some kind of vague,
Can
inscrutable letters.
Can you click on the light fixtures?
I was trying to, but yeah, it's not happening.
We gotta go another level up or down or something.
Yeah, we really might have to go up. I really thought I checked all the stuff that was worth checking.
Is there
now.
more downstairs?
I mean, is it like just sitting somewhere out?
That'd be kind of funny.
maybe there's another side to the
But
library.
yeah, probably you just missed like something that you can zoom in on.
Yeah. Lights to the books. Figured it out. Oh wait, this stand?
Huh, it's a coat rack, like a place where you can hang coats and stuff and hats and stuff.
Oh, is that what that is?
Stuff and fluff. Well, well, this one's not too big. Maybe just some hats.
Thanks.
We can take it as
A
a
hat
weapon.
stand. You put hats on it.
That's okay. I'll keep my coat.
Uh-uh.
I don't need your help.
The gate is huge. Well, it's not like
Maybe
there's a lock,
can
so
we
you
go
can get it anytime we
across
want.
some?
Yeah, I'll check. It'd be kind of pointless to leave. I need to look around this place some more. And maybe there is like this stuff. No, we already did that. So these shelves are taken care of. Oh, whoops. Oh.
This one's new.
Oh.
Automated
what's that?
robot assembly techniques. So yeah, what's that?
Some sort of comic book? Jeez, I guess boys really like that stuff, huh?
No, you're thinking of a different sort of robot. This book is talking about automated machinery that's used to build things like cars.
Oh, yeah.
Automated robotic assembly line techniques. Fudge. I did not mean to do it.
Wow, look at how long that
I know.
that last line is now. You notice that didn't look like that before we got on this path.
No.
Oh, wow.
Communication and computer science, huh? Yeah, what were you saying?
The later games are famous for this. Like they don't.
The flowchart itself was
The
a
early
reveal.
flowcharts don't tell you anything about what the game is. Just
Nice.
if there's an obvious path that you get to, you don't see it really until you're right on top of it.
Yep.
It's kind of good. That's a pretty generic title. To be honest, it's so vague I don't really know what it might be about.
Uh-oh.
Communication and computer science. An overview of photochemistry.
I think whoever set this up wanted to see the cover, not the spine. Let's look at it, okay?
Really? Okay.
Oh,
Huh, looks like there's a whole lot of space behind these books. So there's the bulb.
Look, Junpei. I think there's something hidden behind the books. Let's go grabs it.
Powerful light bulb.
Brand
This is a brand new light bulb. Looks like a pretty high wattage one too.
Nice.
Alright, we did it. Well, there was a light bulb here. There isn't anything here now.
What's that one called?
It says Foundations of DNA and Genetic Engineering. Okay.
DNA, like the mobile game company.
Psst. So where was I
Alright.
searching? The upper left here? Yes. So did I miss a spot?
I guess we just didn't do this one.
No, yeah, I just missed that one.
Alright.
Alright,
Yeah,
well,
we
that
missed.
wasn't so bad to figure out.
Seemed likely. We had to turn around just to go down.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Alright. We're in. We found it.
Alright.
Oh, right, I should do this. Okay, I put the pop-up books.
Do you need to combine
There
something?
must be a way to click on it.
Yeah. This? No.
To click specifically on the... There we
There
go.
it is. Alright, so there are 3 lights in here. I'm going to change these bulbs. Now they should...
Yay.
5.
Awesome! Yay! It worked!
Way to go, Junpei.
You really changed that bulb.
Good job, buddy. How many Junpeis does it take to screw in 3 light bulbs? Exactly 1.
There's
That's the
something
joke.
projecting at the bottom.
These letters, they seem familiar.
Yes.
S.
I feel like I've seen this somewhere
H.
right behind me.
Sheldrake 5. The lights are really bright here. Sheldrake 5.
I think I saw the rest of this collection somewhere.
Yeah, I think it was somewhere around here.
Let's go take a look.
Okay.
I mean, we won't actually do it. You'll have to do
Yeah,
it.
Junpei, could you do everything? Sheldrake? Have you heard of him? Sheldrake, I mean.
Oh god, here it comes.
Yeah, Lotus told
We
me
made
about
it through
him.
the whole room without someone monologuing
Yeah,
for half an hour.
but wait. Yeah,
There's
Lotus told me about him.
more.
Oh no! There's a British biochemist named Sheldrake. Yeah, you called it.
Wow,
He
you got
had
your entire rotation in this one room.
Yeah, this is incredible. He had a rather interesting theory. Morphogenetic fields, which relies on the theory of morphic resonance. Oh, thank God, they're just going through it. Really? From Lotus, huh? Well, Clover also said something to me about that stuff. She did?
Clover
Yeah.
reads books. It's news to me.
Yeah, what was it?
The ability to access morphogenic fields is affected by a couple of things. First is epiphany, and the other one is danger.
Oh yeah, that's right, because she was in the experiment.
Yeah. That girl. I told her not to tell anyone. You did? Why? Well, look, man, I didn't push it because we're in a hurry, but I'm kind of sick of this. How about you just tell me, okay? Tell you what?
What?
Don't give me that. About the experiment. Very well, fine. I'll tell you everything
You
in
solved the-
excruciating detail.
You solved the room puzzle, you're entitled to some exposition.
Yeah. But not here. Let's move to the top floor.
It hasn't been Snake that did the monologue yet, right? It's always someone else.
Yeah.
So this is the first time we've got him doing the
Ka-chunk.
info dump.
I suppose I might as well start by telling you why I kept quiet, and why I made sure Clover did as well. To be honest, the explanation is quite simple. Zero told me not to. I had little choice. He didn't walk up and tell me, of course. He gave me a message engraved on a card. That's a Braille card. It looks just like the one you showed us earlier. So you had 2 cards. No, only one. Huh? What do you mean? I thought that card just had some rules of the nunnery game on it. Yes, it did. And those were the rules I read you. However, they were not the only thing on the card. There was something I didn't read. Well, perhaps I should say there was something I couldn't read. And that was... Tell no one of the events that took place 9 years ago. Tell, and I activate your sister's detonator. It's a threat on our lives. Oh. Well, what about Clover? Did she get a message from Zero too? I don't believe she did. But doesn't it strike you as strange that Zero would shut my mouth, but not hers? Yeah. To be on the safe side, however, I told her it was best not to tell anyone. Still, apparently she told you. That girl. What's wrong with her telling me? I figured some stuff out with the things she told me. I mean, it looks like the whole activate her detonator thing was just a bluff. I don't know, dude. This Zero's capable of a lie.
Yeah.
She's prancing around downstairs, happy as a clam now that you're back.
And all of a sudden, blam!
I know.
God.
That's very true. I've decided I can trust you. I've decided to tell you the truth.
Uh-oh.
The chance that Santa is Zero is very high. I feel I can assume Santa doesn't have the time to observe us at the moment.
Do you think so? In the last version, we learned that Ace was behind the previous nunnery game, right? So like we.
Yeah, but he's not Zero though.
Yeah, but do you think that part of it had to do with? So was he at the site that Clover was at, or was he at the site that
the other one that the 2 sites?
Snake was at? You know, so
yeah,
like,
that's a question.
If Snake clearly can't see who it is and didn't hear him, so maybe it was the other.
Yeah, that's a good
kids.
call.
It's just interesting.
And at any rate, even if he were, I very much doubt he would kill us. Why? Clover told me about the 4-leaf clover, about the words. If he knew about that, then he was in my group during the first experiment. I'm sure of it. He wouldn't kill us, no matter what the situation was. Hey, Snake? Yes, I know. You want to know what happens during the experiment. Yeah. How much do you know? Clover told me about... And that's what happened. I see. The morphogenetic field in the experiments 9 years prior. How the experiment had taken place simultaneously at 2 locations, one being the ship, and the other being a building in Nevada. And the girl that died during the experiment. She told you all that, did she? At any rate, I now know how much you've learned. All that remains for us is to determine, is who did this and why, right? Yes. Can you tell me what happened? Yes.
Yes.
Will you? Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah. The people who organized the initial experiment were from a company called Cradle Pharmaceuticals.
Oh, so yeah, Junpei doesn't know this in this timeline, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. That's right, we don't know about Ace's involvement.
Mm-hmm.
There were 4 of them running the show. Gentaro Hongo, Nagisa Nijisaki, Teraki Kubota, Kagechika Musashido. Hongo was the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals. Nijisaki was his right-hand man and did the lion's share
That's not
of
what
the
it looks like
planning.
anymore.
Yeah, right. Kubota led the company's research and development division. Musashido was their majority stockholder. It was these 4 people who planned the initial experiment.
Actually, I guess it's the guy on the left who's supposed to be the 9th man.
Yeah, I suppose so.
It's hard to tell.
Let me simplify it for you. Hongo designed it, and Nijisaki put it all together. Kubota developed this technology required, and Musashido provided the cash. So it's Hongo, Nijisaki, Kubota, Musashido. Of course, more than 4 people were required to conduct an experiment of this scale. To that end, they organized a top-secret team to assist them with their research. All in all, they gathered 10 people or so. Those 10 completed their team, and they were able to begin the project. They named it the Nonary Project. The purpose of the experiment was to research the prospect of controlling a human mind through sheer will. The vessel, I suppose you could say, for this control was the morphogenetic field. Why did the glycerin suddenly begin to crystallize? Why did the crystal structure of EDT undergo a sudden change? Why did the rats improve their puzzle-solving skills with each generation? Experiments with humans produced the same results. The more people who knew the answer to a question, the more there were who could answer correctly, without having seen the problem before. Why is that? How could it happen? The answer is that the shape of the answer has been stored in a field invisible to the naked eye, and through that field the resonant event transmits information related to that answer. That's essentially the idea behind morphogenetic fields. But that's just a theory.
And also, like, it's complete gibberish. If
Can't bring yourself to believe it? Yeah. Let's say someone killed another person because the devil told them to do it. Whether the devil exists or not has no relevance to the murderer. They believe the devil exists. Whether or not he does is immaterial. So what matters here is that Hongo believed in the morphogenetic field. That's right. But I still don't get it. You said they wanted to figure out how to control people. Right? That is what you were saying? Yes. So how are they going to do that with the morphogenetic field? Yes. I'll keep it simple. Let's suppose 10,000 people have solved a certain problem. The chance of you knowing that answer, even if no one has told you, will go up. Let's have another example, shall we?
If 100,000
I was just going to say that. Say 1,000,000 people were to do a handstand right now. Tomorrow, the chances of you doing a handstand would be higher, even if you had heard nothing of this hypothetical mass
It'd be real hard
handstand
to, like,
thing.
keep a secret.
Just imagine that they're just like, I just gotta do it. Handstand.
Like, why do I do
I've never done this before.
This handstand was made for me.
Wow, I get it. Mankind's thought process and actions are all part of a resonant event. All the resonant events encoded in the fields are projected onto you. Of course, this assumes you believe in this theory. Do you follow so far? Yeah.
Sure, that's what I've said for everybody else who's just been bullshitting me this entire fucking...
And they called her All Ice, which was for Alice. Do you agree? Sure. Now, if there was a person with the same effect as those millions of people, what would happen? If that one person were to do a handstand, other people would find themselves wanting to do handstands as well.
It's like a real...
We control the world with this.
What a waste
handstand
of your
power.
handstand power.
I know. Can you imagine what a person with powers like that would be able to do? Jumping jacks, cartwheels, you name it.
Tumbles, even.
Come on, there's no way. I'm not done. Shut up. I'll take questions afterward. Imagine another scenario. What if he stood on one foot, for example? Imagine another person. This is an ordinary person. Let's say he does a handstand. What if there was someone who could grab the resonant event he created by doing that, and use it to make other people do handstands? What would happen then? I don't know.
I like they use the Matrix encoding where this guy who doesn't know what's going on is the blue pill and the person who can broadcast is the red pill. I don't think that was intentional, but it does. It is like consistent. Yeah.
A person who has the power to write to the field and someone who can read from the same. You could think of them as the writer and the reader, or the transmitter and the receiver. What would the world be like if there were people with abilities like these? Handstands for days. So the transmitter's resonant event can be transmitted through the field and sent to the receiver. and then the transmitter can control the receiver however they wish. That's what you're saying, right? Yes, close enough at least. Come on, that's just crazy. Well, if you want to prove that, then you'll have to test it first. At least that was how they thought. That was why they decided to do their experiment.
I appreciate that Snake shuts down the ethical complications immediately and just says, like, it doesn't matter if it exists or not. The point is they set up this stupid experiment.
They tried it, yeah.
That's really what the problem is.
That was how the nonary project began. By the way, Junpei, have you ever heard of the Gansfield experiment? Yeah, really? That was an experiment in telepathy, right? You place a pair of subjects in separate rooms, then you show one a picture, oh, we've been over this, and ask the other what they see. Interesting, I'm impressed. Yeah, that was from Lotus, right? Yes, that is exactly correct.
I mean, don't tell him that you heard it like a few hours ago. He doesn't need to know.
I know. So, why did you bring up the Gansfield experiment? It was used to screen subjects for the nonary project. The hospital in a remote town was affiliated with Cradle Pharmaceuticals. Hongo used it to conduct experiments on visiting children in secret. Some of them, he found, had potential. He began to gather children that showed promise, children that seemed as though they might be able to access the field. Of course, none of them volunteered. They were kidnapped. There were 9 pairs of siblings taken for 18 children total. For reasons that were not fully understood at the time, each pair had 1 transmitter and 1 receiver. They were split perfectly. As such, the 18 children were split into 2 groups of 9. The children who were put in Group Q? Alright. Were the ones who excelled at transmitting. Oh, it's Alpha. Were the ones who excelled at transmitting. They were transferred to the mock experiment building known as Building Alpha in the Nevada Desert. The children who excelled at receiving were put in Group A? Wait, really?
Question and answer, yeah.
Oh, come on. It was Q. Group A was then placed on the former hospital ship Gigantic. From the experiments he had conducted so far, Hongo had learned the following. There are 2 things that can increase one's resonance with the fields. The first is epiphany. The other is danger. Have you ever been faced with an especially difficult problem and thought about it very long and very hard until finally an answer suddenly appeared in your mind? It may seem obvious to say so, but that is what is meant by epiphany. The information obtained through that epiphany can be easily transmitted through the fields where it can be easily interpreted. Adding danger to that equation allows for even easier field access. That's where Hongo came in. They set up a number of puzzles across the Gigantic. The participants had to solve each one before they could move to the next room. Of course, he hadn't forgotten to include danger. He had detonated a bomb on the hull of the Gigantic. The children in Group A were forced to play the nonary game as the ship sunk. Damn. By forcing the children into a life-or-death situation, Hongo hopes to increase the likelihood of their tapping into the fields.
So, remember that, Clover learned this from the experiment. Everything else that we've heard from literature was from, existing scientific knowledge. Yeah. So, as far as we know, Ace is just, really fucked up and tortured a bunch of kids because he thought that would lead to a breakthrough in, morphogenetic field research.
That's ridiculous.
Which is, psychotic.
Yep. The children from Group Q, on the other hand, were confined to the mock experiment building, Building Q. Building Q duplicated the interior and puzzles of the Gigantic exactly. Every detail was exactly the same. Hongo explained the situation to the children in Group Q. Solve the puzzles you find throughout the rooms. When you have the answers, transmit that information to the children in Group A. If you succeed, they will be able to solve the puzzles and escape. But if you fail, then the Gigantic will sink, and your brothers and sisters will drown. Those were his orders. Do you know why the astronauts of Apollo 13 were able to return to Earth safely? Because they're twins back in Texas. Ground control transmitted. Shit. It was because NASA had access to a replica of the Apollo 13 capsule. All the equipment, the instruments, everything. All of it identical. Everything was just like the real Apollo 13. NASA was able to replicate the situation the astronauts found themselves in. By putting themselves in the same situation, they attempted to solve the problems the astronauts were dealing with. Once they found solutions, they reported their findings to the men aboard the actual capsule. That was how they were able to return safely. It was the same with the Gigantic and Building Q. The children from Group Q had to use the power of epiphany to solve the puzzles they found, and to transmit what they learned throughout the fields, or through the fields. The children in Group A, however, they had to access the fields to learn how they might advance to the next stage. That is the simplest explanation I can manage, and the shortest one.
Hey. Oh. Junpei, Snake, how much longer are you two going to sit around with those bony asses? Are they sitting on the walkway?
I don't know.
Get down here already.
He's right. Let's go, shall we? We don't have much time. We need to get out of here, and soon.
But not too soon that I couldn't have spent all of this time explaining the story to you.
Yeah, now that my throat is sore, yeah. Hold it. There's one more thing I want to ask you.
Question mark?
Are you sure that there were 18 kids? Why? Well, I thought it was only 16. Oh, yes, that was what they said on the news, wasn't it? Yes, I have no doubt that 18 children were abducted and used in Hongo's experiment. After all, you couldn't exactly play a nunnery game with any less, could you?
I don't know. How many nunnery games were there before this? You could have called it an eighter
I was going to say that the Tetra game.
Octory game.
Yeah, Octory game. Well, yeah, but are you saying that the news got it wrong? Yes, I am. There were 2 more children. However, they had no relatives that I'm aware of. I imagine no one filed a police report when they went missing. They were brother and sister like Clover and I. The brother's name was Aoi. The sister's name was... Her name was Akane. That was the girl who died. Oh!
Also, Aoi mentioned that 7 was someone that 7 mentioned was at his site. So now we know kind of where they were.
Akane Kurishiki died?
No, that's the only person named Akane in the entire world.
I was going to say, like, you
what
know
a
someone.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah. Like, our friend in this game is named Akane.
She's right there. And it's clearly the same person. She knows who you are.
9 years ago. Then, who was June? No. No. That's impossible.
Well, I guess that's what we're going with.
That can't be true. Akane isn't that uncommon of a name, thank you.
I guess he's just panicking a little bit.
If Snake had known her last name, well, that's a different matter entirely. So they share a name. A lot of other people do, too. It doesn't mean anything. It was someone else. Of course it was. It has to be. Oh,
God.
Is something wrong, Junpei? Your breathing sounds strange, as does your insane rambling. Oh, no, it's nothing.
I guess that was all his internal monologue.
Yeah.
You know.
Let's get back down there, alright? I couldn't do it. Why didn't I ask? What's her last name? I just couldn't get the words to come out. This is quite a reveal. Anyway, let's solve this little puzzle. Oh, you
She'll
found
be fine, by the way.
What?
like, my girlfriend is dead. Don't talk to me right now. Although she's also in the other room. I don't know. It's complicated.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Don't talk to me. I'm dealing with some shit.
While we deal with ours, it's time to stop the installment.